People are calling it the new Hunger Games or the new Twilight. Do you agree with that? And do you feel pressure because people are comparing it to those movies?
I think the only thing that really links the movies is the fact that they're all young female leads. But in the sense of, what the movies are about, where the movies come from, they're all respectively great in their own right, but we're all so different. I would say that this movie is in particularly different because it's not dystopian. It's very modern. It's realistic. It's right now. It's not, 1,000 years in the future when we're dealing with governmental issues and a segregated world. We're dealing with an outside source of fear and a cause of death and a cause of, terror. So I think in a lot of ways it has a bit more of a societal underlying message than some of the other movies. And it's not just a story about, a young woman finding a man and falling in love. It's a story about human perseverance, come man or woman.
Can you relate to your character?
Yeah, I think that Cassie and I really, I can relate to her in the sense that she has this kind of overwhelming need and fight to save her brother and her family. And for me, my family is my life. My family is what really truly matters to me in the world. So if my brothers or my mother or anyone that I'm close to in that sense is would be in peril or would be in possible peril or was just even alone, I would fight to the end of the world to save them and be there for them.
And how is it to be like the new Hollywood hunk?
Is that what I am? I don't know.
I
if
think
that's
so.
what I am.
I think you are.
Thank you. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it feels good. Nobody told me yet, but I think it feels all right.
Well, I'm telling you now, so.
Yes.
I'm also interviewing Chloe and Alex. Do you have a little fun fact for us about them?
About Chloe and Alex, yeah, I would say they ask Alex if he likes to chop wood. He had to chop for a scene. Yeah.
Yeah, that was. He hated it.
He didn't like it.
Oh.
The pieces were too small. They cut the wood too small, and so he couldn't get a good hit.
Oh, it looked good.
So yeah, it turned out
Yeah.
okay, but I think that wasn't a fun one to shoot.
I wasn't as good at the wood chopping as it looks on the camera, because the way that they've cut it, there's only 2 moments where I chop wood and I get it right down the middle, so it looks good.
Yeah.
But really, I missed the wood quite often because it's so thin. It was like literally like that thin.
Yeah.
The log.
It's harder than it looks, I guess.
It's harder than it looks, yeah. But I don't know. I've chopped wood before, so I was all right with it. But there's some outtakes that are pretty funny where the axe got caught in the log and I was trying to pull the axe out of the log.
Okay, Alex is a lot more clumsy than he looks. He falls a lot in all of his action scenes. He was always falling. And Nick falls too, actually, a good bit. He had a big spill in the movie. But Nick has an old school taste in music, which I enjoy, very bluesy.
So there are a lot of physical scenes in the movie. Were there any accidents? I heard you had a little slip.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I had a little slip. We were filming nights, and it just rained, and we were running on this big runway, and I had a little tumble. But I think everyone had a little bit of a slip because you're running with so much gear, and it's all so heavy, and there's so much action and moving and everything that everyone was bound to have a little tumble from now and again.
I was in the car with Chloe in Atlanta, and a song by Cher came on, and she went crazy for it.
Really?
I can't remember what song it was, but it was very theatrical, and she just went crazy for it. So she loves a bit of Cher. What does Nick do? What's something funny that Nick does? Nick likes his rap music.
Rap music?
Yeah, he's got quite an eclectic music taste, but most rappers, if you have like an obscure rapper that you found, Nick will be like, yeah, I know that guy. Yeah.
Wow. And for Chloe, do you have a fun fact about her?
Yeah, let's see. Maybe, I don't know, talk to her about the lake scene, see what she was feeling.
I was looking at an empty lake when I was doing that scene.
Really?
Because the lake was really cold.
Yeah.
So when they shot it with Alex, I was filming something else down the road.
Ah.
So they filmed it completely separately.
So
I
you
was
weren't
just
looking at
staring-
him?
I was staring at an empty lake. And Jay Blake's and the director was like, act surprised, act like you're seeing, a sexy guy. And I'm like, okay.
Wow, that's difficult acting.
Yeah, completely fake.
Yeah.
Completely fake. I
You
just
weren't
broke
even
the
looking
illusion.
at his body. And
No, not at all. That's why when I watched the movie, I was like, oh, that's what we did. I
Yeah.
was like, okay.
I want to thank you on behalf of all the girls for the lake scene.
For the lake scene.
Yeah.
It's so
I'm sure it's
embarrassing,
the
that
most.
scene.
Why is it embarrassing?
It's just embarrassing. Because I went to see it at the premiere, and there's just an embarrassing moment.
And
'Cause
you're like,
it's a long time. It's a lot
yeah,
of washing.
it's a long scene.
So yeah, and when we shot it, it was just like, okay, let's just get this done. So I went in, kind of just washed, and it was so cold we had to do it quite quickly. So then to see it up there was kind of just funny and a bit embarrassing.
How was it like to be slapped by Chloe?
She slapped me so many times because it was like if there's ever a slap in a script, I'd like to say as far as if there's a punch in the script too, but I think if there's a slap in a script, I'd like for it to be real. So I said to Jay, I think I'm fine with her actually slapping me. I think it'll be good for the way that it looks. And then I said to Chloe, and Chloe said, are you sure? Are you sure? And I said, yeah, just hit me as hard as you can. The first time, she didn't hit me that hard, and I said, no, Chloe, you can actually slap me in this scene. And then we had to shoot the scene so many different times that by the end of it, she'd slapped me about 30 times.
Wow.
The makeup artist had to keep coming over and touching up my face because
Aw.
Chloe's tough. She's
Yeah, she's a tough
she's
girl.
strong.
Yeah.
I think she loved it. I think she loved it.
She enjoyed it.
Yeah.
If you were in a situation like in the movie, who would you want by your side?
Of all the characters, or just anyone?
Could be anyone, yeah.
I'll take Bear Grylls. I'll have him by the guy, the survival guy. Bear Grylls.
I don't know. I will Google him.
Yeah.
But he's like a strong.
He knows what he's doing. He
Yeah.
would survive. He drinks his own piss and stuff.
Oh,
like that.
okay,
So,
great. You have to get that
Yeah,
guy, obviously.
he's hardcore.
Yeah. If you had to leave because there's an alien attack and you can only pack 3 things, what would they be?
3 things. I pack a knife, for sure. Probably a knife that's got a little serrated edge on it so that I can use it as a saw also. I'd pack some cordage, so things that I can use to make a shelter, and to potentially catch animals and stuff. And I would also pack a flint too, so I can make fire.
So you're a practical guy.
I'm a practical guy. I'd love to think of 3 really funny things, but I've watched too much Bear Grylls. Do you guys get Bear Grylls?
No.
He's like a survivalist.
Oh, Nick told me about him
Oh, he
too, and
is?
I was like, well, I don't know.
Yeah,
know that guy.
yeah,
he
he's-
drinks his own piss, he said.
Yeah,
Nick.
drinks his own piss.
Yeah. What will you always remember of this movie?
I will always remember how cold it got in Georgia. It gets really cold there, and I'm gonna remember that. And how big the explosion was. The bus was big, really big explosion.
Yeah, it looked
Huge.
like, yeah.
Way too big.
I was kind of scared in the movie.
Yeah,
I
me
was,
too.
sitting like,
We were standing. I remember we were sitting they put us on this roof to watch it all happen, and they do a countdown on this big speaker, and when they hit 0, it was like it was like a nuke went off.
was it hot also? Did you
Did
you feel the heat?
You could kind of feel the heat.
Yeah.
It was silent afterwards, and you could hear car alarms going off,
Oh
and
my
everyone
god.
was just kind of in shock, I think.
Well, the life of an actor.
Yeah.
Vriendinnen of met je vriendje of de vriendin als je dat hebt. En ik heb toen gedaan toen ik mijn vriend, denk ik, een halfjaartje kende. En ik werd echt zo verliefd toen op hem. Ik weet niet wat het is, omdat je dan